So I think I've got a good start here. I really needed Sarah Alcaldi's help to begin with some basic groundwork, but I've got plenty to talk about on my own. And I was thinking this morning, like, who is my target audience? I feel like in Earth School, I'm just an outcast, period.
A woman on her own must be from out of town.
A lot of that is by choice. Break for earrings. I'm not a very social creature. So honestly, I haven't even had it in mind that I have an audience because I've never had one before. Unless I'm serving food to people, and having an audience when you're just reciting a special of the day is very different from trying to communicate the incommunicable. I guess my audience is whoever is curious about the incommunicable. I really want to appeal to the spirit curious more so than people who have always considered themselves spiritual. But, I've been thinking so much about Saturn and Saturn returns and periods of evaluation. And really the big phrase in my mind is, let's call ourselves out on our own bullshit. Whatever your bullshit is, we've all got it, because we are all trying to make the inner meet the outer, and often it doesn't work. The outer fights the inner, so the inner changes itself to appease the outer, first of all just so it won't get killed. And then it develops all these coping mechanisms and mental illnesses, trying not to die, first literally, and then just socially. Socially, we feel like we will die if we are rejected from the herd, even though we live in a time where a drone will bring us everything we need. I think it's a good thing that we still have this thing in us that feels like it's going to die if we're rejected, because it means our pure little animal, dumb doggy heart is still alive. If you've been paying attention to some of my rude little quirks, I use a lot of words that people have historically used in a negative light as positive things. Dumb is my favorite thing. I think it needs to be something we revert back to after we explore our intelligence, but I'm in love with dumb. The dumbness of a dog, the dumbness of my jobs. I don't like having jobs that require the usage of my mind. I like to keep my mind free and reserved for my free time. So here's all I know. Spirituality is the future. We will all start intellectually recognizing our spiritual origin. Language is the sword in the tarot for a reason. It slices things off from other things. So we have separated spirit and matter as though they are different things. Really, it's that they are the same thing, and the argument is which leads to which. We are pure consciousness experiencing various densities which appear to us as really solid, but that's illusory. One little shift, like there's the notion of our mind or our five senses not letting information in, but filtering it out. So in order to be in this physical experience, we have to be filtering out a lot of information that is just in existence around us. Because if we let it in, we would look like total nut jobs. I've spent a couple years just being a nut job because it's really fun. But I do want this human experience, so I'm coming down. So, yeah. Spirit gives rise to matter. Matter is a dead end. That's why cultures are getting to that dead end called nihilism, and their computers are melting down. Their heart is bound and gagged in a closet. Their mind is staring at a bunch of wrecked trains in a kitchen sink that's in a cosmic dumpster that's on fire. And if they've been raised in a narcissistic, materialist world, they don't know where to go. I guess that's really the type of person that I view as my audience, is people who don't even have a starting point in spirituality, which would have been me if I didn't have such a fantastic mother. There is such a mother wound in people. We've been so focused on the father for so long. I think we need to start talking about our mother wounds. The overbearing mother, the narcissistic mother, the trying as hard as I can mother, but I'm sorry, I have to have drugs to get through the day because nobody allows me to be the full, spiritual, giving, loving being that I am fundamentally. And that's our real wound as a species, is we are punished for giving. We are punished for being pure. We are punished for being joyful. We are punished for all of our positive emotions. So we learn to operate in the negative. So this is one way in which our adaptability has not served us. I've recognized this in myself. I will just make the best of a bad situation. It's good in that I have really learned how to practice acceptance with everything, but I can get out of those situations as well. And my dumb doggy heart doesn't want to, because it doesn't want to leave anybody. But that's also something we all have to accept on our individual spiritual paths, is that people, places, jobs, everything is going to be in flux for a while as you adjust to being in a whole new dimension, because spiritual awakening is the realization of multidimensional reality. On the more basic level, you can recognize this just in the fact that here in the third dimension, we are all operating in parallel universes. My experience as I go through this life is radically different from all the neighbors I have that have Trump stickers on their cars, or even people who have coexist bumper stickers on their cars. I won't brand myself anymore. Ideology is killing us, even if the ideology is to coexist. By putting a label on things, you have sliced it away from something else. And as much as I adore words, we have to know when to give them a rest. I'm actually really scared that the next steps are towards languagelessness. Because I love language, but it's just our attachment to it when we allow words to hypnotize us. So that, like, when you see your word that you resonate with, Trump, and your heart leaps and you go, fuck yeah, Trump. Everyone who loves Trump is right. Anybody else is wrong. Like, when you allow a word to have that much power over you, that's not good. Same for coexist. If your heart leaps every time you see the word coexist on a bumper, it might be a little different because you might just be longing for actual coexistence. But that comes from the sadness of disconnection. If you cross over into excitement at the people who have coexist bumper stickers because they're in your camp and not that Trump camp, then that's bad. You've crossed over into more separation. Do not allow words to have power. You know the words that are allowed to have power over us? The names of the people and animals and places and things that we love. If it's just pure love. So I don't think we're going to get rid of language. Also, the human voice is so beautiful. Voices in general. Even my whiny, bratty cats. Yeah, I like being a human. I don't like that spiritual people want so badly to not be human anymore. How can we love God, our source, and hate everything it created, we can't carry this shame into the higher dimensions. It's not going to come with us, or you're not going to go if you have that shame with you. It doesn't mesh. The physics won't work. So maybe that is my target audience. Anyone who still has shame operating within their being. How do we get rid of that so that we can all go above this? Because I'm stuck here too. Whatever this ceiling is, I'm not going until I've got more than just me with me. I can't believe my battery hasn't died. I was kind of counting on that being my indicator to stop talking. So much love. Peace out.